Matinee is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Shout Factory. It can be found as a slipcover edition available at your online retailers. Now, Matinee is not only a love letter to 50s and 60s sci-fi movies, but I would even say to movie theaters themselves from that time. I always forget how much I enjoy this film, and I put this in a comfort movie kind of category. This is also one of my favorite John Goodman performances, as he definitely embodies the William Castle spirit, though not in name, but as a fictionalized version. I would say if you love classic sci-fi movies from the past and love of films in general, check it out. Matinee on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has an aspect ratio of 1:8:1 with native 4K resolution, and it supports both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision encode. According to Shout Factory, the 4K transfer is a result of a restoration from the original camera negative approved by director Joe Dante. Starting with the source, to my eyes, it's largely free from most major blemishes and imperfections. I noticed a few artifacts on occasion, but nothing too troubling. The overall condition looks like it has benefited nicely from the restoration efforts. Film grain is light and properly cinematic throughout. Bit rates are relatively strong with no notable dips in image quality. Now that the film finally has a 4K upgrade, I was immediately impressed with how much improvement the overall image clarity was. Details look excellent across the board as close-ups and mid-level shots show appreciable gains. Even more impressive is the addition of Dolby Vision, which gives the palette a sometimes shocking jolt of stunning vibrancy. The early 60s and the setting of Florida allow the palette to reveal almost a breathtaking flourish of color. Day scenes look simply gorgeous, and when the film moves over to the theater in the third act, the variety of colors in the aesthetic, clothing, and other elements provide the viewer with even more impressive visuals. The black and white clips of Mant show a solid-looking grayscale and impressive black levels. Every once in a while, I get a little curious with the transfer and decide to A and B compare the HDR versus Dolby Vision. I found that the color red, most of all, shows stronger vibrancy with Dolby Vision as opposed to HDR only. Other primaries look almost comparable, but I found it interesting that red was decidedly bolder in Dolby Vision in this particular case. Night scenes look excellent and appropriately deep, and darker interiors are rendered well. Shadow detail looks good, and no crushing was spotted during my viewing. Matinee on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a new Dolby Atmos audio mix, which folds down to a Dolby True HD 7.1. There is also a DTS 5.1 and DTS 2.0 audio mix. Much to my surprise, a Dolby Atmos track was included, and don't let the movie's description fool you, it actually packs quite a punch. Keeping expectations in check though, just be forewarned that if you're somebody who thrives on height channel activity, this one isn't necessarily going to scratch that itch. Yes, there are some occasional audio cues up there, mostly complimentary in nature, but I wouldn't say it's anything that is going to wow the viewer. Now, don't let that get you down because the overall experience is much better than the previous 5.1. The soundstage is opened up substantially more as ambience and in-film craziness, especially when Mant is playing, is ramped up nicely. Audio cues in the mid-levels and rears often have entertaining results and keep things immersive for the listener. Dialogue is clear and easy to understand with no issues. One of the more surprising elements in the Dolby Atmos is the heft that the LFE brings to the table. During Mant, the theater vibrates intensely with rumble-rama, and the low end gives you that experience in your own home setup. It can be pretty aggressive at times, and it makes you feel like you're almost there in the theater watching it with the crowd. In addition to a few new pieces of bonus material, most, but sadly not all, of Shout's previous supplements have made its way over to this release. Probably the most disappointing omission will be that the full-length version of Mant is nowhere to be found here. This is honestly a bit of a bummer, but there is the archival making of Mant, which just sort of feels a bit like kicking you when you're down in a way. 2 new interviews with supporting cast and a new audio commentary are included with this release on the accompanying Blu-ray, as are the previous Shout Factory produced supplements, which are all pretty good and insightful. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Matinee on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray an A. Shout Factory's 4K transfer of the film is simply a very noteworthy upgrade over the previous Blue. Colors are lush and vibrant, and image clarity is spot on from start to finish. I'm very impressed with how this transfer turned out. For the audio, I scored it an A as well. The new Dolby Atmos mix is a welcome addition to the film and one that not only opens up the soundstage in general, but adds some entertaining audio cues with the additional speaker real estate. This track handles itself very well, and it's a well-done effort. For the extras, I graded them an A-. I always applaud a label when they include new bonus features for their 4K release, but the omission of the full-length version of Mant is a very puzzling decision from an otherwise good batch of extras. It may have been a rights issue, and if that's the case, its exclusion here is an unfortunate one. So that is my review of Matinee on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Shout Factory. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave a direct Amazon link in the comment section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.